This is William Asbury Carr in Alice's class, Year 1, Group A, and this is my breakdown on the trailers that I have made in Avid. So starting off with the 15-second trailer, we first have shots with the police department that he works at with a dialogue that is a test for his mental health. This is to show that he's being controlled, and alongside this, the cuts that are made are used in junction with this dialogue rather than the music, again furthering that he is being controlled. During these shots of the police department, I have a shot placed in with Ryan Gosling sitting in his car that flying towards the police department with a emotionless face, which furthers his emotion based on how he feels at that time. After watching many videos of Blade Runner edits and trailers based on other films, I found that having dialogue underneath different scenes that is not directly correlated to the dialogue is quite useful in creating emotion within the audience and setting a scene, as it conveys more information based upon not just visuals but audio as well. The second half of the trailer shows that Ryan is walking away from the fire. This indicates that he is slowly losing control, and as this happens, the voice that he was first being interrogated by suddenly fades out, again conveying that he is losing control. In the later scene of him walking through the orange wasteland, I use this to show the colours of the film and how dynamic they are. This also shows that he's in a place where he should not be under the police guidelines. Following this, he meets a character that turns out to be one of the older characters from the original Blade Runner film. A voice line then plays, also hinting this to the new audience who have not yet watched the original Blade Runner. This decision was made to get the audience interested in the teaser that was released, so more interest would be picked up and people will be looking forward to the upcoming trailers. For the 30-second trailer, I started off with having shots of Joy, the love interest in this film, which shows more actors and slowly builds a profile for the main character. I gained inspiration for the music by editing the scene where Joy brings him food originally, as I struggled to find fitting music. After editing the romance scenes that were pieced together, I decided to add a twist to the narrative of the trailer by showing her death. This was done in conjunction with the slowing of the music into the next scene. This was a big choice to make as it would spoil the film to the audience members, but it also creates a feeling of insecurity in this world that the main character lives in. In the final shot, it shows his pain and leaves the trailer on a cliffhanger, making the audience want to watch more to see what is next for him as he was waiting for his death. The music merging was done using fades and beat counting to make it seamless, and most of the cuts were done using rhythmic timing. Fade in and outs were used to make the start and the end look more smooth. I also developed some name actor cards as well as found some company title cards for a bit more depth in the trailer. Having set the tone of the main character in the second trailer, I wanted to carry on this narrative while starting a new one. The first few shots are him finding out who he is. This is encouraged by Joy and shows him carrying on his now human-like personality. After this, I started to incorporate more human-like scenes with lots of emotions from the character to build the story based on a truth he is chasing. This was also done by adding dialogue that shows he is now converting to a human by grieving over the dead Joy. The music I chose added a sad cyberpunk feel to the trailer, which allows me to convey the feeling of Joe to the audience easier. Cuts to this were made by using overtonal montage techniques so I could really flex my musical ability in editing. Having quotes like "I know it's real" and "dying for the right cause" will make the audience want to go and watch the film, as the final trailer gets the audience rooting for the main character, Joe, and also makes them feel empathetic. For the title cards, I pulled them from the original Blade Runner trailers that can be found on YouTube. The editing techniques that I used during this project helped me develop a greater understanding of storytelling in short amounts of times. I use J&L cuts to carry on a narrative while conveying more information using other visuals. This also helped me learn Avid as a program for the title cards. I had to resize them using visual effects due to their aspect ratio not lining up with the film's native ratio. Keyframing audio to help me guide the levels of my music was also a big part in the process. I also learnt how to key the actors' names in the second trailer, as well as repositioning the image using the 3D warp effect. I also ran into some problems where my project dimensions were not the same as my native footage, so having to resize and change settings in the export environment was a big learning curve, but after some research and many attempts, this was fixed and was able to achieve a suitable product. Overall, I'm happy with how the project went, although I wish I had a bit more time, as my best work comes from my own original ideas by envisioning how I'd like it to look. To work around this, I started listening to music to draw inspiration from the feelings that it created within me. I enjoyed this editing task and I'm looking forward to doing more and pushing my boundaries.